Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm just going to do cardinal signs, and the goal of this general, everything will be timestamped in the description box, by the way, for Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. We are following Sun, Venus, and part of Fortune with this one. And this general is going to be about what situations or situation guidance oriented leading to a life purpose or just confirming life purpose. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your spiritual life purpose, but it could be. It could be something that leads in that direction. We'll see. Every sign's going to be different. I will go ahead and get the timestamps rolling. Okay, for Aries, we got your pile. Starting off with, where is she? There she is. Feminine energy. You have Parvati, spirit, and she just basically gives you the encouragement to persevere. More specifically, you have the power to find the fight within yourself to keep rising. Then you also have Nuwada, who showed up on the shadow side. He talks about chasing, perfection. So it kind of gives you a little heads up on that, okay? Trying to be excellent is admirable, but something unattainable, maybe an illusion, is tiring and damaging. So be realistic with your choices, okay? Just so that you know it is for you, right? Okay. Up next, I've picked from the old school Kipper. We have the Good Lord, which is the mature man in the Fin de Siècle deck, number 5. 5 may be significant to you. I'll see if I have enough space here to put everything. A journey, number 10. 10 signify endings leading to new beginnings. So this just signifies that this may be for a mature man, or it may involve a mature man of some sort or another. And I'm going to go ahead and pull from a little bit extra from the book to see if there's any signifiers that may be of assistance to you. We'll start with the journey. Okay. All right. This card stands for all forms of transit and vehicles, as well as vacations, travel, escapes, and round trips. So it could be a literal travel, could be, involving travel, right? It's time to start or take a step forward. Leave your old and familiar situation, depart for new shores. This might concern your work, your family situation, or your relationship. This card indicates also, let's see what else it does. See if it does any timing on it as well. It could indicate something arriving or departing as well. Okay. And the Good Lord, let's see, usually a well-traveled individual. I remember that. So that could be somebody that might be sort of a mentor for you, or you might be the mentor, right? Let's see. He's on your side generally, representing all kinds of bosses, guides, mentors, authorities, and executives, as well as an important male relative such as grandparents, uncles, fathers, stepfathers, father-in-laws, etc., etc., etc. He offers support. This is a wise person who might become important for you. Respect all persons of authority or experienced persons. For example, you will benefit from their wisdom. Let's see what else. He brings good news, so this is a good thing. All right, yeah, that's all good stuff. So I'm thinking that this is definitely a person that's going to assist with you, or you might be this person, right? Just be careful of getting overzealous about that perfection, right? Make sure it's a realistic approach, okay? From the tea leaf, we have something about the month of June, okay? So you could be dealing with a Gemini or a Cancer. Yeah, that sounds right. Or it could have been somebody you met in this past June or will meet in the upcoming June, right? Or it's a situation that'll come to fruition in June. June is significant. Acts, forces working against you, and that could very well be that strive for perfectionism, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be a person, hills, obstacles to overcome. So there will be challenges, but Parvati here is giving you the strength to persevere, right? And it could very well be just perfectionism might be that obstacle, right? Of the animal spirit guides, we have rattlesnake. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer of some kind. A snake may be a good symbol or sign, synchronicity for you. Okay, your 2 life path purposes. Now, these are particularly interesting. You have oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. So perhaps this is really more you learning how to help others teach how to heal, or you might be traveling and doing some sort of seminar work or something along that line. I'm thinking travel's involved, guiding others, healing's involved. There will be some obstacles to overcome. So however that applies for what your interests are, think of that. Yoga also came out as well. So perhaps there's going to be some sort of movement oriented healing as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be yoga. It could be something else, right? It all helps your aura and your body kind of just become more in alignment anyway. So you got yoga, stretching, exercising, or perhaps this is something you need to do actively during this process or for whatever this journey may be. Okay, there you go. All right, Cancer. Let's see here. Your first card out, I'm doing the feminine energy first just to get a gauge. We have Athena, wisdom. And we have your masculine energy, Set, chaos. So these are just things to be on alert for your natural energy, right? Athena, she talks all about thinking strategically to determine the path to the most positive outcome, okay? So that's a really good reminder for whatever is coming down the pipeline for you or has already somewhat presented itself in a small capacity. And Set talks about sort of a tower to rebirth circumstance, right? Destruction for rebuilding could be also about ignoring duality, focusing on one side or the other or over the other. So it's time to refocus. So this may be a period where you're just sort of kind of in limbo, or will be in limbo. And it's actually a good opportunity to kind of examine all angles and perspectives of whatever you're going for, right? Okay. Your first old school Kipper is number 22, so that may be significant for you. A military, that's the same as the official person in the Finjicicli deck. I know more people are familiar with that deck, so that basically refers to anything dogmatic. Typically legal, typically military, that kind of thing. All right, we'll go in. I'll get the book out too. We also have the living room, which is the same as the family room. Number 21. So you got cards that break down to 3 and 4 respectively, or those numbers themselves may resonate in some way, shape, or form. So this could involve, the situation could very well involve maybe a family member that is in the military, is a judge, is a cop, is a whatever, something socially dogmatic or politically dogmatic or governmentally dogmatic, okay? Whatever the situation is. But we'll go ahead and get some more identifiers out of the book here to see if there's anything else we can pull from this. Or you could be this person. All right. I'm going to talk about the living room first. Let's see. And mostly the living room is like more of a common space, right? In the other deck, it shows a parlor, right? Society visits would have been kept in the former parlor. So we know we're in a welcoming and supportive space where secrets and personal matters may be shared. Okay, so maybe you're going to learn something, right? And that's where Athena kind of talks about that. Maybe this is a person that's going to help you strategize. Literally, it's a room and stands for all private or enclosed spaces such as living rooms, hotel rooms, offices with doors. So it could be an office, something official. All right. More abstractly, it represents privacy and intimacy. The sense of closeness can also refer to the time and place, as in soon, near, right next to you, or shortly, no more than a month. So there's your timing on this, within a month, right? Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, traditionally it means anywhere from 24 hours to 4 weeks. Let's see, what else? Oh, you can retreat into your privacy without being introverted. That's another piece of advice here. So maybe it's time to go out. Okay, that's good. We got it. And official person or the military. It is a challenging card, but it really just depends on what it's next to. And it sounds like it's next to something pleasant, so I wouldn't worry too bad. Literally, he's any person in a uniform, such as a military man, police officer, or fireman. He can stand for a gruff, forceful, or even humorless person. They love ceremony, pomp, hierarchy, regiments, and order. Give a task to the military, and he will make it so. It can also mean it's happening whether you like it or not, so it's definitely something that's going to be coming down the pipeline. And perhaps it seems like this is something you can learn from, whatever this is. There's going to be some good in this. It's for your greatest good, it seems like. You may be in a situation where you're not in control. Someone else is giving orders. That's another good hint. When it isn't an actual military officer, he can be an official, such as a policeman or judge. He might be unapproachable and intimidating if he isn't a friend or relative of the querent. However, it is next to the family room, so it could be a little bit more friendly and loving. All right. Let's see. Ooh, that's right. I almost forgot about that meaning. This is good. Sometimes the card also acts as an exclamation point, describing a neighboring card as official. So it could be describing that family situation as this is official. And maybe it's going to involve family and just family, right? Okay. You may be confronted with the strict rules of daily life. Maybe you'll experience situations where power and authority are required, or you're involved in a relationship that is characterized by restraint and formality. Perhaps an ambitious person in your job. Okay. This card indicates that you should be more determined and focused on following your goals, and Athena kind of does hint at that as well. So we'll go ahead and get out your tea leaf cards and see if we can pull any more. We have archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Okay. We have funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. So just lightheartedly handle through the situation. Aim for that positive outcome, right? And that's perhaps where Set is talking about this, chaos, that duality issue, right? That would be a time to refocus and aim for the positive. Frustration always gets conquered by humor, by the way. Sometimes it doesn't work on a strict military person, but you never know. They're in the family, so you might be able to find a lead in. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. So whatever this is great. In fact, you got a fourth one here too. Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And your animal spirit guide. So you could choose to use this as sort of a sign or sync if it helps, okay? You've got greens and blues on there. Could be relative to your heart chakra or your throat chakra. There might be some loving communication that needs to happen. And humor certainly is loving communication when it's applied in a careful way, right? Okay. Stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. It's precisely what the military card was telling you about as well. You're not in control of the situation. So this is a learning experience, right? Your 2 life purpose cards that came out were speaker. Your life purpose involves your skills of oration. So perhaps this is a person that's going to be teaching you something that's going to help others, right? And I can't make it up. I love it. Family. Loving your friends and family is essential to your life purpose. So perhaps maybe you'll be speaking on family issues and you're going to be learning something from your own, right? Or a family that's close to you, right? Okay. All right, Libra, for your feminine energy, we pulled the card of Amaterasu, Inner Beauty. And she just gives you a little bit of vote of confidence if you're feeling discouraged, right? Just find your own and look within yourself to go forward if disappointed or discouraged. Whatever the scenario is, it may seem like a disappointment, but who knows? We'll see where this goes, okay? Your masculine energy indicates a cut dedication in the reverse on the shadow side. I'm going to put him in the upright for you, just so you look at him. He's gnarly looking, isn't he? He's Mayan, you know. All right. Dedication. If there's a pattern of not completing things, just stay on path. So, I mean, I can understand if a situation is feeling frustrating, you kind of want to give up. Don't give up, okay? It is safe to commit whatever current project you have, or if you want to start a new one. It's either project, path, venture, or right is what this card signifies in terms of what you're working on. Okay. From the OG Kipper deck, I have pulled the house, number 20. Okay. So something having to do with home and familiarity and comfort, right? And number 9, change. Okay. All right, let me see if I can get around the device without knocking it over. So there may be some sort of changes at home that are challenging that you're working on or will be working on. All right. The tea leaf cards that came out were heart, love, deep affection, and caring. Okay. And goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So it could go either way. Bull, don't back down from opposition. And that could be that wanting to give up. That could be your opposition too. Or just feeling overwhelmed, right? Show strength and fortitude. I'll put you up here. And tree, affairs with your family. So this definitely could be family oriented or home oriented, right? Because the house came out as well. Your animal spirit guide that came out is the ladybug. So be on the lookout. That may be a sign. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. So having that positive wealth mindset is important at this time. And your 2 life path cards, life purpose cards that came out, were counseling. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So that could be whatever challenging circumstances going on at home, right? Whatever, it could be just some training for something bigger, right? You also have the author card. You have a book inside you that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it. And this might actually be a good thing because this may be some sort of inspirational circumstance that will guide you to a novel or an autobiography or something, a screenplay even, okay? You can get totally creative with it. Get inspired by your circumstances, right? All right, there you go, Libra. All right, Capricorn, let's see what we got for you. Just want to make this quick. Ooh, you have 2 masculine energy cards too, so we got some good details here. But we're going to start with the feminine energy, and you have Hecate. Get to her page in case we have. She's pretty self-explanatory though. She's like, use your magic now. You've got it. Do it. She's basically a cheerleader. I love it. It's time for magic. Use that power now. Exactly what I just said. Yes. All right. And your first masculine energy card that came out is Kiernonos, shape-shifting, but in the reverse. I'm going to put him in the upright. We'll talk about him right now. Before I forget, he's on the shadow side. And not all the shadow sides are negative, by the way. They could just be a continuation of the light side. So in the light side, he talks about transition and change flowing through you, career, identity, or authentic self, right? But on the shadow side, he's just reminding you to work with the environment, not against it. It could also mean a dietary change is needed that honors animals. Sometimes I look at this card like, you probably should go more vegetarian this week. It's literally that simple for me. All right. And it could be that. You could be working your dietary magic, right? Okay. Then you have Achilles, confidence. And I love this card. I love the way they designed that one. He talks about having confidence and strength and worth and stepping forward, knowing that you can achieve. So perhaps what you're doing right now that's for your, your life purpose is health oriented, or yeah, just some kind of change, right? Like just some mind, body, soul kind of change, right? Your OG Kipper cards that had come out were number 30, legal matters. So maybe the change has something to do with needing something legal, or maybe it was some connection to legal. We'll get there. Lot of money, number 11. And perhaps this change is needed because whatever you had been spending on money on, maybe there's a legal matter that's kind of getting in the way of your financials, right? So maybe you can't eat out as much. It could be that simple, right? Or it could be that you're doing a switch up somewhere. Your tea leaf cards that came out were love. Okay, I'm going to try and put it somewhere where I can see all the cards. There we go. And you can see all the cards. All right. Wreath, sorrow over a loss. Okay. And flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Perhaps this situation is involving them, and it might have something to do with their health. Maybe there was some disappointing news. Legal matters. Let's look in the book to see if there's any other identifiers as well for that. Because a lot of money could really also just be luck, right? Abundance kind of situation. The legal matters, on the other hand, may change some things. That's the same as the adjudication card in the fin de siècle, for those that are more familiar with that deck. Let's see. It's about decisions. It could be in your favor, or it could be against you, or it could be something you're deciding on that's in someone's favor or against their favor. Let's see what else we got. The decision could result in a finer fee, a permit issued or denied, the need to file, serve, or be served documents, or it could be the finalization of a small family matter. So that could be more just, finalizing something within a family situation. And if there's been a loss over something and that disappointment, it could very well be like a dissolution of a relationship or something, right? Whatever change up this is. See what else I can pull from this. He'll explain the process from which comes a sense of a process server. And on this card, it does look more like a process server, right? Therapist, arbitrator, or negotiator. So it could also just be seeing a therapist, right? Represents someone you go to for the resolution of a disagreement or problem. And that disappointment may seem like it's heading in that direction. Mediator, judge, lawyer, doctor, or counselor. So there is doctor on there as well. Maybe the doctor there's some sort of medical disappointment, right? In a situation or person. Discussions or negotiations are necessary. In your personal relationships, it describes clarifying discussions or debates. In professional terms, all participants in an advisory role are represented. This card indicates all matters that are public. So maybe something that happened publicly, right? I could see that happening. And that's perhaps why it's disappointing too. Maybe, somebody behaved uncouth, right? So maybe now it's prompting some sort of rite or passage or change in self and your situation that you want to improve for yourself. Just know that you have that confidence to do that. Yeah, that's good. All right. So the card that came out from the Animal Spirit Guides is the Cardinal. This could be a sign or synchronicity for you next time you see a red bird. But it doesn't have to be a red bird. It could be any bird. Birds are messengers, so pay attention. Wherever this is leading to you next, you'll probably get some sort of sign from the universe through a bird. Bird, 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 Word is the word. Okay. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Okay. So it could just be whatever this situation was, just threw things off kilter, right? And it's time to reel it back in. And again, here we got this actually kind of goes in alignment with Kiernonos over here. Your life purpose card, this new oracle deck, is nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. Hint, hint. Maybe that's exactly where it's going. You know, maybe the switch over is to try something totally different than what you started from, right? Um, Perhaps it got too comfortable at home, but that's where the lot of money might show up, right? Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be cooking, but maybe, you know, you're educating on nutrition or you're learning about nutrition or something like that. And involving traveling. Okay, I love this. Your life purpose involves traveling. So who knows? Maybe you're going to be some sort of, I don't know, food related travel blogger or something like that. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be you cooking or baking, right? Like you can be like, oh shoot, who are those chefs that would always travel the world? Anthony Bourdain was one of them, and I learned about the Azores through him. So you could maybe be the next Anthony Bourdain, or what's that other guy that always says everything tastes like feet and it's amazing or something? Oh, Andrew Zimmerman. Maybe it could be something like that, right? Um, and it doesn't even have to be something where you travel long distance. You could start out small, right? Like, I don't know, maybe you'll start a YouTube channel and explore your local city's cuisines of different, national origins or something, right? Wherever this bird comes and shows up, okay? And that might balance everything back out again. And maybe you could look for like healthy alternatives, right? Like and showcase the underground healthy food world or something, right? In the city that you're in to start with, and then venture out. Maybe you'll get some sponsorship or help with that somewhere along the lines. And that love card really just kind of indicates showing interest, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean romance. It could just mean you're spreading love too, with whatever you enjoy doing, right? And I'm trying to think of other ways you can involve food and travel. I don't know. Mull it over. See what you come up with. Work your magic.